Ruddy heck, it's all popping off now.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that loads of stuff is happening in the world of Chelsea's transfer world. Moises Caicedo before Sunday. That's what Chelsea dream of. The player, of course, dreams of the move himself. Kepa looking like he could actually go to Bayern, and Sanchez viewed as Chelsea's long-term number one. Chelsea trying to hijack Romeo Lavia. We've made a bid. Whoa. I mean, this always happens in the transfer window with Chelsea, doesn't it? We make loads of moves towards the end, a crescendo, if you will. It happened in the Abramovich era, and seemingly it's happening in the Blue Co era. And it's very exciting. No matter what your inclination, age, or whatever, you know, when a lot of stuff happens towards the end of a transfer window, it's incredibly exciting, and I feel happy and excited to report it to you guys here, and honoured to share my thoughts, feelings with you viewers who are interested in hearing them. So thank you to my subscribers. New subscribers are of course welcome, and I'd urge you to hit the bell and drop a like on the video to support me. Thank you. Alright, let's start off with Romeo Lavia. This is from David Ornstein yesterday. Chelsea, so Southampton have received a £48 million from Chelsea for Romeo Lavia. Of course, looks like Liverpool had this deal wrapped up. He's a long-term target of Chelsea. Of course, Joe Shields loves him, brought him to Southampton. Shields is now at Chelsea. He wants to bring him to Chelsea, but this could be on top of Moises Caicedo potentially. Let's find out. Southampton received a £48 million offer, including add-ons from Chelsea, for midfielder Romeo Lavia. The West London club's bid arrived on Wednesday night, last night. Dialogue is currently ongoing with Southampton, and their asking price is £50 million. Well, we're not far off, are we? If we're willing to pay £48 million, then £50 million you'd feel is an achievable target. I think they're probably just pushing the 48s to the aesthetics of it a little bit. I mean, let's get it in now, make no bones about it. 48 million quid for a young midfielder. Is he still 19? He's a young midfielder who, just from a relegated club, it's just a little bit fanciful to demand such money. But loads of clubs want him. City, of course, have got a buyback clause. We're looking at Paqueta at the moment. Of course, they've just signed Kovacic off from us, so I think they're probably okay. But lots of people want Romeo Lavia. Of course, Liverpool had a third bid rejected on August the 7th, so 2 or 3 days ago, for £46 million. So Chelsea very much coming in to hijack Liverpool and offer an increased bid. The third bid from Liverpool. God, I'd say my heart goes out to you, but you're a rival, so I don't really care. But yeah, multiple bids, multiple failed bids for a primary target midfielder. We know how that feels. Incroyable. Southampton's asking price, however, is seen by Liverpool as too high a figure for a player of Lavia's experience. I would agree. Lavia made 29 appearances at Southampton. Of course, they were relegated last season, missing a chunk of the campaign due to a hamstring injury he had as well. Important to note. He also was subject to a £50 million deadline day approach from Chelsea last September. So we've already offered to pay £50 million, their current asking price. But I guess the talking point here would be now they've been relegated and they hadn't been last season. Damn. I mean, I can understand why Southampton would be like, look, you can have him for the price you paid him before. Although it would be remiss for me not to say it again because I've referenced before. Matt Law says that was nonsense at a £50 million bid, but when Orney speaks, David Ornstein, I listen. So incredible, really. Chelsea are now looking to bolster their midfield, and we're pursuing Caicedo as well, and we know Caicedo. We've had 4 bids rejected, 60, 65, 70, and 80. 4 bids rejected. Incredible. Right. Romeo Lavia, very good player, and like I said in yesterday's video, if other big teams want him, it's usually a good sign. I don't think Romeo Lavia is instead of Caicedo, especially the way David Ornstein is reporting there. If he's on top, we have got a weak midfield options. If we build our double pivot options with Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Romeo Lavia, and Andre Santos, 4 goes into 2 nicely, as we like to always say, with positions for a top team. Wonderful stuff. And then you look at, I guess, to cover the number 10, while Nkunku is out, I suppose you do look at Gallagher, Chukwuemeka, and who knows, maybe even Ian Maatsen, who played there briefly in pre-season, should he stay. There is, of course, some talks that Chelsea could be looking to sell Maatsen if a really big offer comes in. It'd be very disappointing. Obviously, we're playing him as like an attacking mid. If we put in like a buyback clause or something for Maatsen, for like something, if we sell him for like 30 million quid and have a buyback for 50, and that sounds like a lot, but if he becomes this super Premier League player, trust me, 50 million will not look that bad in the end, especially when you're bidding, 100 million-ish on the likes of Moises Caicedo. So Lavia, he's one of those like hipsters choices that I can understand what people like. I gotta be completely honest with you guys, I haven't watched Southampton closely and gone, yeah, Lavia, look at Lavia, he's well good. Obviously he hails from the Man City academy. He's like the next generation of good Belgian player. Shields said this guy's mustard, we've got to bring him to Southampton. As soon as he got to Chelsea and his sporting director job at Chelsea, he was like, right, this is who you want, he's the future, man. If you can get him and lock him down, he's the one. So I defer to Joe Shields' superior experience, and yeah, let me know what you think of Romeo Lavia down below. So, Caicedo, I'm going to use Cy Phillips's website here he's citing Fabrizio Romano, what he said. Caicedo, I was starting to think this won't happen, and to be honest, like, when the Premier League opener in just days, he's at Stamford Bridge, but apparently Chelsea want to unveil him at Stamford Bridge. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano once again has urged Chelsea fans to relax and be calm on their club's attempts to sign their key target this summer. In fact, he says Chelsea are trying to get Moises Caicedo signed by Sunday, before the game versus Liverpool, whether it is to play him or be unveiled at Stamford Bridge. Well, if he costs that much money, it will probably be unveiled. That's what they like to do with the big money signings, don't they? We certainly did it with Mudryk. Did we do it with Enzo? Can't remember. We must have. I remember Mudryk, though, with the Ukrainian flag. So when you spend a lot of money, you want to make a big deal about it. And it would very much, especially you're playing Liverpool as a big occasion, Stamford Bridge, Either way, it sounds like good news. Romano continues to be positive on the outcome of this being good for Chelsea. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Fabrizio Romano's always maintained the same tone regarding Moises Caicedo and pretty much said, like, yeah, don't worry, lots of stuff's going on. Probably one of his sources, one would imagine and speculate, has said to him, yeah, look, they're dilly-dallying over here. They're playing silly buggers, but it does look like this is going to be done. He's not playing for Brighton in the pre-season games. He's desperate to go. Brighton recognise the opportunity to make a hell of a lot of money here. And I have spoken my roller coaster of emotions throughout the saga here on the channel, saying like, maybe we just walk away, maybe we just sign. We still could even sign Tyler Adams, by the way, a player that I haven't mentioned in that list. Maybe Andre Santos is a rotational player, and we bring in Tyler Adams, and that's your senior 4. And then you got a senior 3, and then Lavia and Andre Santos represent the 2. Is Santos still 19? Young and experienced players. Though Lavia has got Premier League experience. Suddenly, potentially, we have a wealth of players in that engine room, that midfield pivot. Who knows? Maybe even at some point we don't play with number 10, we play with number 8, and you have like Enzo and someone else flanking Caicedo, maybe Lavia, I don't know. Still, a lot of players. Romano's very, very confident and big on Moises Caicedo still, and potentially to be signed before Sunday so he can be unveiled. What a dream, eh? Matteo Moretto is speaking again last night, very late in the evening at 10:30 p.m. on Twitter about About Kepa, this is just another one of these wild stories that has just come out of nowhere. The Bayern Kepa issue advances. Thomas Tuchel has chosen Kepa. He wants the Spanish goalkeeper. You guys reliably informed me Jan Sommer has gone in the comment section, so thank you for correcting me with that. So they do, hence needing a goalkeeper. So you guys know a lot about football. My football therapy. I heard someone called the viewers Yanatics. Kind of like fanatics. I like it. So if you want to be a Yanatic, join the gang. Still the GOAT gang, isn't it? The OGs will always remember. It's the GOAT gang. It is a priority request. The priority request for Thomas Tuchel. And this is, of course, the Ravello journalist, Matteo Moretto, respected journalist. So this is priority transfer for Tuchel. He wants Kepa. Bayern Munich and Chelsea will continue negotiating in search of an agreement. This is wild. Absolutely wild. I'm fine with Kepa. He's not like, he's the one that you want to keep forever. But I was fine. But clearly Sanchez has come to Chelsea. If we end up buying Robert Sanchez for 20 plus 5, let's say 20 million, and he becomes Chelsea's first team goalkeeper, what a snip! What a snip. I mean, Brighton had their balls in a vice with Sanchez because I think he was training with the under-18s because he fell out with De Zerbi. Chelsea were in a very, very, very strong position in signing Robert Sanchez. But yeah, Nathan Gissing of Demartio has also explained, written, produced, said that he understands that long-term, and maybe not so long term, maybe it turns out quite short term, that Robert Sanchez is Chelsea's long term number one, goalkeeper. And you know what would dictate that as well? A ruddy 7-year contract. And he's 25, so it's fine for a goalkeeper, takes you to 32. Probably has him on like modest wages that Chelsea are very happy about, that fits the wage structure, the new model, etc., etc. Wow, this is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing stuff. And yeah, it's exciting. Chelsea are going to be completely new, unrecognisable. Should this happen, Caicedo, Lavia, Sanchez, number one, Kepa. I'd be quite, not emotional seeing Kepa go, but he was a big part of generally still successful times with Chelsea, finishing third, being a really integral figure in that Europa League run. I was at the Stamford Bridge game against Eintracht Frankfurt when he made those penalty saves with his knee in the shootout, and I was surrounded by Frankfurt fans as well because they had invaded the home seats somehow. And yeah, I was just losing my mind. And of course, yes, he had a terrible season, but then he came back and, he was a part of like a journey with us in a transitional period where I've spoken about how a lot of our chickens had come home to roost. He didn't choose to be £71 million. Our hand was forced when Thibaut Courtois refused to train with Chelsea and basically forced to move after saying he's going to re-sign Nova. And Real Madrid wanted Kepa. Loads of big teams were looking at him. He was good with his feet. He still is in certain ways. So yeah, it's with a sort of like heavy heart and I wish you good luck because he was a professional and yeah, he went through the hard times, but who hasn't? Wild, man. So please do consider joining me on this continued wild journey of Chelsea Football Club here on Football Therapy. Join the fun. And I look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon on the next one. And thank you for continuing to support me. If you want to follow me on social media, it's at FootballYannick. I'm even on TikTok now, would you believe that? Alright friends, see you in a bit.